Hi guys, welcome back to more in Bruges on the Force 90 YouTube channel, continuing the Circle of Bruges save one left from 2015. Today's video is pretty big actually. We've got the last two games of our championship playoff group. We are at home against Oostende and we are away against Anderlecht. And as it stands, we're sitting in third place with 37 points. In our 8 games, we've been doing pretty well. Started off badly, didn't win in a while, but I was giving you Twitter updates, and we ended very well actually. We got a win against Zulte, a 3-3 draw against Ghent, and a 2-0 win against Club Bruges, which was massive. And that's put us up to third place, which will guarantee us a Europa League group stage, I think. We can still catch Club Bruges. We're 4 points behind them with 6 to play for, and if we get second place, that's a Champions League playoff. Club Bruges won the Belgian Cup. So they have got at least Europa League, which means that if they do get that Champions League place, then we will get the reward you get for winning the Cup. So we would be in the Europa League group stage, I think. I think that's how it works. We could still drop down to 5th though. 6th place is clear now. We won't be finishing 6th, which would mean no European football. If we finish 5th, then that puts us through to the big playoff against the winners of the Europa League playoff. Which could still get us into Europe. Well, I think it would get us into the 3rd qualifier or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But what I want today is a good result against Oostende. Anderlecht away is going to be very tough, and I can't see us getting anything from that because Anderlecht is so good. So we can't catch them now. We definitely won't be finishing 1st. But 2nd is still possible. But we need Club Bruges to drop points, and we need to win both our games because our goal difference is inferior to theirs, and head-to-head isn't. I'm not sure if it's head-to-head actually, because if it was head-to-head in the playoffs, then we'd go ahead of them because we have a win and a draw. So let's go through them. So last episode we had a 4-1 defeat against Ghent, and we drew 2-2 with Zulte. So let's go through the 6 games played off screen, starting off with a 1-1 draw against the rivals Club Bruges. This was, well, I say it's at home, but we share a stadium, so it's neither home nor away. Club Bruges did take the lead in the second half. Vladimir Jovovic with their goal in the 64th minute. Manserman got the equaliser, his first goal in a while. He hasn't scored in about 10 or 11 games, I think. Scored 3 minutes from time to make it 1-1. Didn't really deserve anything. We didn't have a great deal of shots. Possession was equal. A couple of knocks in this match, so K.S.V had to come off at half time with the knock. We brought on Herman for him. And El Masoudi also took a knock in the second half, the defender. We brought on Dusan in his place, who's back from injury, but he hasn't played well in quite a while. So we'll see what happens with him. He needs to pick it up. And we will be playing in next season, but he needs to pick it up if he wants to start next season. Then we had a goalless draw against Oostende away from home. God, these people. So this match, well, I say these people. We had an early injury. K.S.V was injured in the 15th minute. He came on, Sacco came on and scored a 6.4, which isn't great. And then 34 minutes in, Pierre Bourdon got a straight red card for a horrible challenge. I mean, an ugly challenge. And the player that he actually fouled stayed on the pitch, but afterwards he was injured. He's been injured for a while, I think. I'm not quite sure which player it was, but he didn't play for them. But yeah, Bourdon got sent off. We held on for a 0-0 draw though. We only had 3 shots in this game, but we held on. We defended well and got a goalless draw. Then we lost 1-0. This was at home to Anderlecht. The goal came in the 51st minute through Mustafa Saimak, the forward you see there. Other than that, we did fairly well in this game. We started Halilai, we started Amran because we had a couple of suspensions as well as injuries. Dehaene got a 5.9, so we brought him off. I'm going to sell Dehaene in the next transfer window because he hasn't played well in a long time. So he's going to get sold. So a 1-0 defeat here. They were very much a better team. Then we recorded our first win of the playoff. This came away against Zulte, a great result. 2 goals here in the second half came in the space of 5 minutes. Sean Kleibert in the 47th minute and Hadi Sacco in the 52nd minute. Zulte had a fair few shots, and in the first half, Martinez put on an absolute clinic in goal. 7.5 rating for him. Gevlik with 8.0. Excellent defending in this game. Very happy with it. A clean sheet as well. Borregem had arguably their best player off injured halfway through the second half. Chukwuemeka is one of the favourites to win the Belgian Pro League Footballer of the Year, and he had to come off injured. So yeah, a nice performance there here against Zulte, a 2-0 draw, a 2-0 win rather. Then we drew 3-3 with Ghent. I showed you this game on the Twitter, and it was mental. We led for 3 times in this match. Sako scored 2 goals. We gave a start to Christian Strakosha. I thought a change of formation was needed because of our lack of firepower up front, because people aren't scoring. So I went back to my 4-2-3-1 formation. And we have, in attacking midfield, we got Baselik Gergic, who is a bit tired and jaded and not fit. So I played Christian Strakosha. He's a regen from fairly early on in the save, I think. From our first year, actually. He's an essential attacking midfielder, only 19. And he did very well, to be fair. He had a great game. And he scored our 2nd goal, so that's him. So we led the first time through Sako. Again, equalised through a penalty scored by that player there, whose name I'm not going to try and say. And then 2 minutes after the restart, Strakosha got his goal. It was a good goal as well, good finish. 15 minutes later, Ghent brought it back again to 2-2. Mabalou scoring the goal there. And then Saka added his 2nd of the game in the 80th minute. And then a minute later, Ghent put it to 3-3. Laurent de Poitre with a goal there. And the last game to look at, a 2-0 win against Club Bruges, who played dirty in this game. They really did. Only 3 yellow cards, but they injured 3 of our players. So, all of our changes here were forced. The goals came in quick succession. Nando scored in the 23rd minute. And Yuri Medeiros with his first goal for Cercle Bruges, which I find hard to believe because he's only played 21 times, but that's his first goal for the club. To make it 2-0 in quick succession. And then after that, it just went into disarray. Strakosha came off injured on the 28th minute. We brought on Baselik Gergic, who was injured on the 45th minute. So we brought on Van Acker, and then he was injured, and we brought on Mans Herman. So we were forced into 3 substitutions. Sorry, no, we weren't. Van Acker lasted to the end of the game, but 3 injuries in this game, and that has put us in a bad position. So looking at the squad, didn't mean to do that. So looking at the squad, if we go to general info, we'll see who is missing. So Van Acker is injured. He is available, but he's unfit. Strakosha is on injections to get through the match. And Galashvili is injured, but he's close to full fitness. So that is the deal for today's game against Oostende. Hopefully these guys will be back for the Anderlecht game, which could be huge. And down the bottom as well, pending transfers. I was looking at signing someone. This is Sen Leinen, who's a defensive midfielder, because Ismaila Ndiaye does not want... He wants a new contract, but he's asking triple what he's on now. So I'm not going to be renewing Ndiaye's contract, as good as he is. But he wants like $4,000 a year, and I'm not going to give him that. So I'll be looking at more defensive midfielders, and Sen Leinen will be joining us on the 1st of July. Some of his stats are still a bit varied. But yeah, he actually played for Club Bruges, and he was released by them. He never actually played for them, but he'll be one for the future very much. So that's that. So let's get into today's game. Then we've been recording for almost 10 minutes already, and we haven't played any games. So let's go to the Oostende game. Then we'll do a team selection, and we'll decide what we're going to do here. So Strakosha can play. I'm going to do a quick pick though and see what we get. So he wants me to play him, but I'm not going to play him. We are going to start with Strakosha because he can play. But other than that, I think we will leave it as it is. We'll change the bench though, because I don't want this bench. What else could we do here? Right, we can't play Van Acker, can we? Right, we'll have to put Hoodra on the bench. That's not a bad thing, actually. Hoodrat's not a bad player. Right, I think this will be our bench. I think we're just about there. So Hoodrat, Rafa, Baselik Gergic, Nando. We need a striker on the bench, don't we? That would be good. We don't really have a fit one though. Correls maybe? Do we want Correls on the bench? I don't know. We need a striker on the bench. We can't not have a striker. Right, I'm going to just go with Cornelis as the only defender. And why doesn't that... Right, this is a problem. Why does this not scroll down like that? Right, it's gonna have to be Correls. There we go. Right, so that is the team we're going to submit for this match. Not the most ideal of teams, but with the limitations we have, It's the best we can do, I think. But we needed a striker on that bench. Pick up where we left off from the Club Bruges win. I want to win in this game. I have the scores in the bottom right. So Anderlecht host Ghent in the other game today, and Zulte also hosts Club Bruges. Zulte are on the bottom of the table, and they now can't progress from 6th. They're stuck there. So we are pegged in for a top 5 finish, which is fantastic. That's really, really good. After a few seasons, well, a couple of seasons of finishing, 7th and 8th, I think it was, to finish top 5 is a great achievement. And Sacco had an opportunity there to make it 1-0, but he didn't take it. Christoph De Heine with the corner. It's headed away. D'Alessandro will win it back. Pass it to Bart Boyce. Here's Sean Kleiber, and that's the end of the highlight. Quite abrupt. Club Brugge have a lead at Zulte, and Anderlecht to beat in Ghent. Fairly early on in those games. We're on control fluid. These are the instructions that we have, because we do have instructions set for this formation. It's the other one that we don't. We have no instructions, and we start off on that standard. But hasn't been the best of games so far. Just the one highlight, and it's half time. But we'll keep going. Any finish now is a bonus. If we can get higher than we are, then that's fantastic. But to get top 5 already is great. So anything more than that is just a bonus, really. But hasn't been a great deal of action so far. We've got a highlight here, though. Toure on the ball. And I don't know how we didn't score that. It's gone for a goal kick, though. 55 minutes in now. I'm going to try counter-attacking football because they're having a bit more of the ball. And they've had a few more shots than us, but haven't hit the target yet. And I'm going to bring on... I want a different option. So I'm going to bring on Nando for D'Alessandro. He is the better player, and he's going to be my my first choice right winger. Okay, I've done that, and now Strakos has picked up a knock. That's not ideal. So I'll have to bring on Baselik Gergic in his place. So that's 2 changes made already. So I'm not going to make another one until fairly late on now. But hopefully counter will be the option here. We're defending well. So going forward, we're having a few more shots, but they're not going on target. So I want to try and I'm going to shoot on sight. I think we need more shots. If we can shoot on sight, then hopefully we'll hit the target. But it's still 0-0. We're 85 minutes played almost. But we're not hitting the target today, which isn't good. Oostende are, and they haven't scored yet, but there hasn't been a great deal of highlights in this match. There's a late one here, though. Ducen with a pass back to Martinez, and with 30 seconds left, there is a late highlight. Could this be ours or theirs? It looks like it's going to be ours. Ndiaye onto Nando. If this comes in the goal, I'm going to be... This is great. Come on. Kleiber. They're moving forward here. De Heine. Oh, he was offside. All that for bloody offside, and that's going to be full time. It's 0-0. They're still good. We're still in 3rd, but we faced Anderlecht away on the last game. So that could be, well, unless we pull off some amazing result, then we could drop down. But we're still in a good place. Anderlecht have won. They've secured the title for the 3rd year in a row. Club Bruges won it in our 1st season in the save. Strakosha is out for a month. That's not ideal. Okay, no. So, right, which is it? Come on. He's got a twisted knee and a twisted ankle. So I guess that means 2 to 3 weeks for the knee rehab. And then I'm guessing the rest of that month is for the ankle. I'm assuming it's not cumulative. It's not going to be like 5 to 7 weeks. I'm hoping not. I know it's almost the end of the season, but I don't want this guy out injured because it will affect him when he comes back. Right, so we're going to go straight into the next game then against the now champions Anderlecht. So they have nothing else to play for apart from apart from just trying to win their last game. But they have nothing else to play for. So I'm hoping that they'll play some youngsters. They'll play a not a weekend team, but a second string team. And we can get a result in Anderlecht. That would be great, because then we now can't catch Club Brugge, so we can't get a Champions League place. But if we can stay in 3rd, that's amazing. Oostende and Ghent, do they face each other? Or no, Oostende are facing Zulte at home, so you'd fancy them to win that. So that would mean that Ghent are facing Club Brugge away. So anything can happen here. Yeah, we could finish either 3rd, 4th or 5th, which is still really good, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to skip now to the Anderlecht game, and I'll see you very shortly. Okay, we are on the last day of the playoff, of the season maybe, but depending on whether we finish in that 5th place spot. If so, our playoff final for the Europa League is against Standard Liège, who won 4-0 in their playoff semi-final. So it'll be them if we finish 5th. But here's what we need to happen. So Oostende and Ghent face each other. Do they? No. I can't even remember. Let me just check the... What is it? Match fixtures, isn't it? Oostende face Zulte. So we need Zulte to win that. A draw means that they're level on points. If our score is rounded down, then that half point is then added. So we'll see if that has any effect. If not, I think our head-to-head's the same. So I'm not sure. And then Club Bruges and Ghent face each other. So really, we need Club Bruges to win that. A draw will also do, but we need Club Bruges to avoid defeat. Which, yeah, for once, we actually need Club Bruges to do something for us. So I'll keep an eye on those scores. You saw them there in the bottom right-hand side. So we'll see what happens with that. K.S.V is back, but he's not quite fit. We're going to do a quick pick here. So, I remember the thing about Strakosha. He got injured twice because the first one was with the injections, and then he injured himself further. So that is the deal with that. So he's put Van den Aid in there, who we've never ever played. We have not played this guy once. We brought him on the transfer window. We've never ever played him, and he's going to play today because Baselik Gergic. Do you know what? I've changed my mind. We're going back to this formation. K.S.V is back. We're going back to this one. We will have Thingy on the bench, Van den End on the bench, but we're going back to this formation. We're going to go counter. We're going to go fluid. I'm going to set some instructions now. There we go. We'll just do those ones. Right. So this box to box, and yeah, is a ball winner. Right. We're going to play and not Dehaena. And we're going to have Medeiros on the bench. In fact, you know what? No, we're going to start Medeiros. Cornelis on the bench. Hudret on the bench. Yeah, that's it. Right, submit the team. So this is the last game. So we'll see what happens here. I'm hoping for a good result, but this is away against Anderlecht, who have secured the title. So let's just go out there and have some fun, maybe. Just enjoy it, I think, is the thing here. So the scores are in the bottom right, the table's on the left. So let's see how we do here. Mitrovic on the ball already. Here's Thorgan Hazard, not in. And we've won the ball back here, but Chancel and Bemba wins it back. Two current Newcastle players in here that are signed from Anderlecht. Mitrovic hasn't been booked yet, which is surprising for him. I always have a dig at Mitrovic every time I play him, but never mind. I was about to say no goals in the other games, but Club Brugge have 2-0 lead against Ghent. That's good. So that will put us in 4th place as it stands. Oostende, though, have taken the lead against Zulte. So that has knocked us down to 4th place, which is still a great finish. We've only had one shot so far, which isn't very good. And Anderlecht are on the attack again here. We need to... let's try and attack. We don't do it very often, but we are going to go attacking. We only do it if we are... Oh, okay, they've scored. Mitrovic scores the goal. His 15th of the season for him. And, well, I was expecting this, but, I was just hoping for a different result against Anderlecht. We've only beaten them once in the whole save. So, yeah. We'll see what happens, though. So, yeah, we've only had one shot so far, which isn't very good. It's very hard against teams like this that are dominating possession and dominating play. It's very hard to try and actually get forward and shoot. I'm going to try pumping the ball into the box. Maybe working it in isn't right. I'm going to try long ball play. We are on more direct passing. Okay, that's fine. Let's see if that helps. It's half time. We're only 1-0 down, but we haven't been playing very well. So show me something else in the second half. I'm not going to make any changes despite us not doing very well. But we're going to kick off here. We're going to see if we can get a good spell of possession from the off. And what happened there? Okay. For some reason, FM minimised, but we are still recording, so that's fine. AA getting to pull one back. That's worrying. And what's happening elsewhere? Oostende now 2-0 up. But AA again are... Oh, Kleiber's injured. That's not good. AA again had equalised. Right. We're going to play Evandeneen. And I'm going to try playmaking. We don't... Right. I think that is going to be a signing in the transfer window, is signing a playmaker. Because we have some, but I think we need some to sit in central midfield. We need playmakers. That's a long way up for that goalkeeper. I'm hoping we can capitalise on that. We're going to put Corrales on in place of K.S.V, who's come back from injury, so he's not looking too hot. We're going to play him as a false 9, which is what I named my channel after. So it'd be nice to use one once in a while. That's a long goal kick. If we can get a goal from our own half, that would be fantastic. But they kept possession, so that's not going to happen. Alti Parmak on the ball. Here's K.S.V, a fellow Jordan, along with R1 K.S.V. A few Georgians in the Pro League. Gevlik, I thought it was going to be a penalty then, but it's not. Adamoglu and Alti Parmak has made it 2-0 for Anderlecht, which isn't too bad, you know, against the team which we were almost certain to lose against. K.S.V has been injured for them. 77 minutes played. I'm going to make my last change. I'm going to bring on Nando. Sorry, bring off Nando. Play D'Alessandro. We're going to go structured, and we're going to try. We're going to make it go over. We're going to go overload. The worst thing that could happen is we go 3-0 down. The best thing that could happen is we draw 2-2 and still finish 4th. But 4th place is still amazing. It's still 2-1 at Club Bruges. Oostende 4-0 up against Zolta. And they had a lot of stuff going on. They've got 2 injuries and they're down to 10. But they're 4-0 up. So, oh, we scored. So there's not a lot of time left. We're into injury time. But we've scored a goal. Do you know, it's not going to make any difference in our position in the table. But if we get a draw here, that would be amazing. They've shot wide. There's there's 4 minutes of injury time. Right. We're going to hide a structure. We're on overload. If we can get something from this, then I would be the happiest. Well, not the happiest man alive. I'm sure there's happier people out there. People get married and stuff. Martin has held onto the ball there. We've got 2.5 minutes, but it looks like the clock's going to run down unless we get something from this goal kick. But no, they've got the ball. It's going to be 2-1, which isn't too bad, you know. I think we played much better in the second half. Boyce conceded a late foul. They're not even going to get a chance to take the free kick. It's 2-1. I think despite the result, yeah, I'm pleased with the performance. That is going to do it for the season then. So a 4th place finish is amazing. That puts us in the Europa League for good. There's no playoff to play. I think that gives us a Europa League, either a playoff or a 3rd qualifying place. I think that's it. So let's have a look. So they're defeated. Kleiber's injured, but the season's over. Corrales made his debut. He's lucky and has always been lucky. I'm not answering that. Okay, right. Blunder ends unbeaten run. So I think, is that it? Are we done? I don't think we have any more games to play. Because I think the 5th place plays Standard Liège. But let's just check. We'll see if the season's over. If it's confirmed to be over, we'll do our final team meeting to end the season. And this will be my last video on the save for a few days, because I have other videos to film, like an update for FM16, because I have a short list of saves. So I'm going to be setting up a straw poll for that at some point. And I've got predictions to do, and I have the second half of my transfer review to do. So they'll all come out over the weekends, and maybe Friday night if I have time to film it for that. But yeah, that's what's happening with that. So let's have a look at some of this then. Assignments finished. Standard have lost their manager. He's gone to Feyenoord. Interesting. That's one of the teams on my shortlist. Okay, end of season team meeting. So I'm guessing we've qualified for Europe. So let's hold a team meeting. I'm aiming to qualify for Europa League. I think we can achieve what I said if everyone performs at their best. Okay, a mixed team meeting. Most people pretty happy with it. A few neutrals and a select few, 2 of which won't be here next season, unhappy. Pre-season start date. Yeah, we'll leave it at 5 weeks because there's World Cup to play, so it won't be as long. Initial budgets, 232,000. I'd like a bit more if that's we'll see if we get a bit more than that. But yeah, I'm hoping for a bit more than that. But we'll have a look. West Ham won the Europa League. That happened. They beat Liverpool in the final at the Imtech Arena. Where's that? Oh, Germany. So yeah, West Ham won the Europa League. Champions League final hasn't been played yet, so we don't know who won that. But does that get us into Europe? It must do, mustn't it? But we'll wait and see for confirmation. Chelsea won the Champions League. I had to restart Fraps because it crashed. Chelsea, they've won a treble, so they've it's not really the Champions League, the World Club Championship, and the Super Cup. Oh no, they've won more than that. Okay, so they've won the Premier League. Anything interesting there? Liverpool are down in 12th. Yeah, West Ham finished 16th and won the Europa League, so they paid the price there. QPR got promoted last year, but we haven't loaded that league, so we don't know. I just want to see the FA Cup. Man City won the FA Cup. They beat Stoke in the final, so that was a repeat of the final in 2011. Past winners Southampton won it last year. That's interesting. Oh wow, Man United won the League Cup. Watford won it the year before, and they were runners-up this year. Swansea were the runners-up. Spurs, Chelsea. That's interesting. Southampton beat Chelsea in the Community Shield. Fulham won a Johnston Paint Trophy. Sorry, I just like looking at England sometimes. So Chelsea won a treble. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. La, 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 la. Right. Let me just have a look at competitions. So I don't think it's decided if they're in the Europa League yet. Zolta actually finished above Ghent in the end. So they're in that playoff against Standard. And I think the second leg is... Oh, wow, they haven't been doing very well. I think the second leg hasn't been played yet. It's been played today, so we'll see what happens in that. Standard have 1-0 lead in the from the first leg. Let's see what happens. I'm staying with it because it probably won't take long, and we'll find out where we stand in Europe. Okay, it hasn't been played yet because it's been played. Oh, it's a different competition. That's why it's above. Okay. Standard 1-1-0, 2-0 on aggregate. So where does that put us then? They won the playoff places final. So Standard Liège are into the Europa League. We should be, because we finished 4th. So I just want to see what stage we enter at, though. I think it's going to be the playoff. Oh yeah, also by the way, Mechelen got relegated. Santorini and Mechelen were the bottom 2. And I was wrong in that the bottom team doesn't get relegated. They still have to face the team that is second bottom. And then the loser of that playoff. There's a 5-match series and they get relegated. So there's like a 5-match series. So that's how I think that's completely wrong. That if you finish the bottom of the league, you should be relegated full stop. You shouldn't have to have another chance. If you finish bottom of the league, that's it. You're not good enough to stay in that league that season. I think relegation playoffs are ridiculous. But that's the thing. New average attendance of Club Bruges. Kingsley Coman won the Young Player of the Year. Donald Halilai came in 3rd place. We had a Player of the Year shortlisted. The referee won an award. Bart Boyce came 3rd for the best average rating. Sacco got the runner-up in top goal scorer by value of playing less minutes than Laurent Depoitre. Transfer revenue has been retained. Increase has been retained to 60%. Fraser won the Manager of the Year. There's a fair play draw, a loan report. I want to find out where we stand in the Europa League. But we are confirmed for the Europa League. That's a fact. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to load up Wikipedia and see where that puts us. So Zolta failed to qualify, Standard beat them. So this past season in real life, Ghent won. Club Bruges came 2nd. They also won the Cup. So they won the Champions League place because they finished 2nd. So the spot awarded to the cup winner was passed to the third place team. So this is happening in real life. So those spots are adjusted. So they go into the group stage. Standard Liège finished 4th, as did we. And they qualify for the Europa League third qualifying round. So I'm guessing that is where we stay. That is where we get to. So, right. Unless I get told different on the game, we are entering at the third qualifying round, which is one better than we got that other season. So yeah, that's it now. I could have just looked at Wikipedia instead of just waiting. But if things do change, then I'll let you know. But I'm guessing we're going to be entering the Europa League at the third qualifying round. We'll see if we can get to the playoff and even the group stages. That would be amazing if we could get there, because to get into Europe proper would be great. But that's going to do it for this season. As I said, not going to be a video of this save for a few days because I have other videos to film, and I have to play pre-season, of course. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's going to keep going until I stop playing FM and we transition into FM16. So there'll probably be maybe another 2 seasons with Bruges, taking us up to 2020, which will be the longest save I've done on FM so far. So that is what I'm thinking of doing. Yeah. So I hope you're enjoying it. It's going to keep going for a while. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below and leave any comments you want to make. And subscribe if you want to see my videos as and when they're up on YouTube. That was completely, I messed that up completely. I slurred it all. But yeah, you get the gist of it. You know my outro by now if you've watched regularly. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.